Yeah, welcome to the Dugout. Get in here. Yeah, there you go. We got a great show for you today. We got Kirby Murphy. Let me tell you a little bit about Kirby Murphy. He's a legend in a world of slow pitch softball. He's from Cumberland, Rhode Island. I thought when I first read this, he was from Cumberland down in Palm Bay, but that was.
I wish.
Yeah, we wish you were here too, man. So Kirby's journey in the game started back when he was in high school under the mentorship of David Doe Lee, is it, or
Doc Leach.
Doc Leach?
Yes.
This guy, look, is it? Oh, this guy's name is similar.
Yeah.
His career took off, leading him to the United States Marine Corps, where he continued to dominate on the field, even winning a Naval Sixth Fleet tournament in Italy.
Naples.
Yeah. Okay. After returning home, Kirby became one of the most sought-after power hitters and outfielders in the game, with over 100 world tournament games played, 15 world championship titles, and 29 all-world or all-American selections. His resume speaks for himself. Oh yes, not forget 7 coaches of the year.
That's the best one, buddy. Those are the best.
Yeah. Yes, sir, buddy. It means you know what you're doing.
Well, I get lucky.
That's luck counts. Man.
Yeah.
That's all at the highest level too, right?
Yep.
So beyond playing, Kirby remains a key figure in his sport, serving on the board of directors for the Rhode Island Slow Pitch Hall of Fame and contributing to the New England USSSA Hall of Fame. He also is a senior pro with Miken Sports and a Team Yolked Ambassador. We'll talk about it a little bit later, after pushing the limits of performance and fitness. Today we're going to dive into Kirby's journey, his love of the game, and what keeps him going at the highest level. I don't know who wrote this, but it said, grab your bats and get ready. This is an episode you don't want to miss. What the hell are we going to do with our bats? But let me not leave out the fact that Kirby got lucky 20 years ago and has a life partner in Paula.
Yes.
She's the love of your life, they tell me.
They are. Hey, everybody has one. She's mine.
And you got lovely, what's your dog?
Abby.
I just went blank.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got some girls to keep you on the straight
Yeah.
now, or what?
That's all I got is girls in my
There
life.
you go, man.
Fortunately or unfortunately.
Well, Kirby, this has been a real quick setup. Meeting you yesterday and saying, hey, we want to get you in the studio because you really have a lot to. We're trying to do a history of softball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and most of I know everybody on the East Coast, pretty much in Florida and Georgia. You know, got a lot of contacts there. But Rhode Island, you're our first.
Yeah.
Let me see who else.
Anybody from New England?
And I was. Do you know a guy named Hawk?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, good play. Pitcher.
Yeah, you know Hawk.
Yeah, I know Hawk, sure.
Yeah, we played together for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We played against each other most of the time.
Dave Hawkins.
Yeah, I never knew his name.
Yeah, Dave Hawkins. Yeah, he's a Rhode Island guy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I had that epiphany yesterday.
When I started playing, he was finishing up.
Yeah.
You know, my first couple of years playing.
He's one of the better players in that senior ball now. I mean, really.
I heard he's one of the best players in over 70 in the country. Is that fair?
Say that again?
I heard he's one of the best over 70 players in the country.
Yeah, one of the best 70 players. So he's certainly that, man.
Yeah.
He's probably...
The best?
I would say...
Yeah.
In the context of pitching...
Yeah.
He's top. I don't know who's much better.
Yeah.
And if they are almost as good or as good, they're on our team in that age group.
Right.
He can be a pistol, though. Man. He can piss people off.
I'm sure.
What do you know about that, Ed Rose?
Well,
Listen, join the club. There must be a Rhode Island thing because I'm the same way.
yeah, there's another guy from Jersey that you remind me of. Big old boy.
Who's that?
I want to say Gunner. He's got one of these. He's one of Chip's best buddies. He used to be a big hammer back in the day.
How old? Your guy's age?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be before my time, buddy.
What name do you know from him down there being? He was.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
See, New Jersey's south of me. You know.
Yeah, but you know, I knew yesterday. You probably knew Hall. Well,
Yeah.
And as usual, I'm running into you. Let's get on with this.
Well, let's focus a little bit on you, man. How tell us about the start of your softball journey. When did you get into the game?
So, 1979, I was in high school, and my best friend's older brother, they didn't have enough guys on a Monday night, so they grabbed me off my couch and said, "Why don't you come play softball?" Playing baseball growing up until into high school. I said, "Yeah, why not? I'll give it a whirl." So next thing you know, I played Monday night. I'm like 16 years old, and I showed up every Monday night after that, and every summer in high school, because that was my sophomore year. I played for 2 years, and then...
Were you a big boy back then?
No, everybody laughs at me. I probably graduated, I was probably 175 pounds, probably. You know, one of the regrets I do have is...
That's good. That's not a bad sized guy back there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and I was athletic, and then I wanted to hit home runs, but that's another story down the road. But that's how it started, and then I went in the Marines, and I was at Marine Barracks 8th and I, which is in D.C., and they had a barracks team, and so I tried out for that and made that team, and then that's really the beginning of it. When I got out, I got on 86 or whatever, and
What is 86? What's that?
1986.
Oh, 86. Okay.
And then I was playing in, just my hometown league, and Doc Leach was, my pitcher, who I had him as a teacher in high school. And he said, "Come play with this team," and it was like a B team. We went to the B, won the states, went to the Worlds, and that's really how I got the bug.
So Doc kind of planted that.
Doc did. Doc was a big supporter of mine. He was at the beginning, and then he was, till he passed away a couple years ago. He pitched to me. When I say millions of balls, I'm probably not exaggerating.
Right.
Yeah, he was good. He helped me get going, and obviously I got a little better, and got places on my own. But he still was a big supporter and pitched to me whenever I wanted. Sometimes, every day of the week.
Yeah. The Marine Corps.
Yes.
How did that experience shape your life?
A lot, actually. I mean, it helped me as far as I was a little off the wall, so I got a little bit of discipline in my life. Yeah, I did. And as far as helping me in softball, it gives you the drive and, that discipline to get up in the morning and go take batting practice at 6 a.m. and, stuff like that, the normal person or whatever probably don't understand that. Get up and beat everybody to the field, outwork everybody. And if that means you got to get up before sundown and go, you do.
Was that ball pretty competitive?
Nah, it was okay. For at the time, for me, sure. Yeah, it was. I played in the Marine Corps World Tournament, which is down in Camp Lejeune, and they bring all the bases in, the players from different bases all over the world, and that was good. That was fun. You saw a lot better players in that than you did at the barracks. So it was...
Was that the one in Italy?
Italy, no. So I was on an aircraft carrier, and there's 6,000 sailors and 60 Marines. So in the 6th Fleet, there's, like 20 ships. So what they do is, like, a carrier would have 4 teams, destroyer have a team. And so I was working out one day in the gym, and a Navy kid said to me, "Hey, did you play softball?" I go, "Yeah, I did." Blah, blah, blah. And so he saw me a couple of days later and said, "Would you like to play in a tournament, when we pull into Naples?" And I said, "Well, I can't, because we have a pretty strict security rule, like take care of the ship, external security, stuff like that." as a Marine, when you're floating, it's easy. When you're at port, it sucks because, you know, you're dealing with, you know, somebody trying to blow up the ship and stuff. But anyways, I said, I can't do it. And my CO calls me in a couple of days later and said, you're playing in a softball tournament for the, you know, and being a Marine, we hate the Navy. You know, there's no way I want to go play with a Navy team because that's what it was. And he said, well, you're playing.
Yeah.
So, which was, you know, as it turned out, it was like, was good. And I think we went 5-6-0 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It was cool. It was in like Naples, you know, so it's like, you know, I tell people, oh, I've won championships in, you know, in 3 countries. So,
Wow.
yeah, you know, I used that. It was fun. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. No, that sounds pretty neat. There was a lot of teams. Was there a lot of fanfare? Like, did the people who weren't playing come and watch?
No, not over there. I mean, it was just, you know, I think there was probably 10 or 12 teams, I think, something like that. No, there was nobody watching. You know, it was just us. And because you got to remember, nobody knows you're in port, really. You just,
right.
you know, so you get off the ship, you go to the naval base, they had a nice little park. It was short, I think. It was like 270. I remember like hitting it head first playing left field. But anyways, yeah, it was that was real cool. And I like telling people about it, you know, because, you know, winning, you know, I've won in Canada a few times, and I've, you know, won in Naples, and I've won in...
It's hard to win in Canada, man.
No, I'll tell you though, it's the best tournament there is, the PIF. I've actually played in 3 Rivers, St. Hyacinth, and Sherbrooke for the PIF. Sherbrooke. You wouldn't know where that is. You're on the other side of the country.
No. I raced snowmobiles and they had big races there.
Oh, did they?
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, that's, you know, you get 5,000 people there on a Saturday night.
It's pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
For a softball game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 5,000. Yeah, they have fireworks. They have home run derby. It's a festival really than a softball time. The softball's good. Like when I first started playing, I think the first time I went was '89. There was all the major teams, all the big teams were there. Like all, you know, Bruce Meade and, you know, Britt Hightower, all these big name guys were all there. So it was fun. That was good.
Yeah.
It was fun playing on that.
Who were the big one question.
Yeah.
Who were the big names from your area back in the day? You just
In my area, I mean, there wasn't many guys. Like the guys that I play with, like, you know, one of my good friends, Joe Rabbit, his name was, and he was all world in the super major in the ASA in '87. He was a major guy. He was on the major list, and he had his own Wilson batting gloves. Like, you know, when I first started playing, I was like, wow, look at this guy. He's got his own batting gloves. He's got this. He's got that, and he's probably the best pure hitter I've ever played with. He was supportive of me too. He's, you know, still continues to be a good friend. But he was like the best. Like Johnny Mello was probably the best one of the best shortstops they say that ever played. You know, he played for Rismondo and he played for all the big teams. You ever heard of him?
Well, you know,
yeah, he's fantastic. He was that first guy that played deep in the grass and threw people out. He was a good player.
And I can't place him. You know, the reason it confuses the Mello name is because one of our sponsors over the years,
Jack Mello.
Jack Mello.
Yeah. No, Johnny's from Johnston, Rhode Island.
And he was from up that way. But
Yeah.
I know it's not him.
Yeah.
His athletic ability. But I was.
Do your homework on him. He's worth looking.
What's his name?
John Mello.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's younger than
Still
me.
playing anywhere?
No.
He's younger than you?
Yeah, he's younger than I am.
So he's in his 5th year, 60.
Yeah, I'm 62. He is probably 57, 58.
Yeah, 57. So that's 30 years for me.
Yeah, he's good.
That's why
Played for Shen Valley. Played for all the big teams.
So I mean, you're at the top, man. There's no better teams than what that you're at, and I mean, you've had a pretty interesting journey, to get there. Was there a moment in your journey where it's like, I'm pretty good at this. Maybe there's a future.
It's funny. I've been asked that question a lot. I remember like going to my first world tournament in was 86 or 87. We went to Lubbock, Texas. You know, and there's 104 teams, the B Worlds, ASA B Worlds.
Yeah.
There's like 104 teams. You know, I think we won a couple games. I think we went 2-2 or 3-2. But I just remember like sitting at the field and watching this, you know, talking to a few people here and there, and I said to myself, man, I want to do this, you know, and I knew there was, you know, we were pretty much a local team, you know what I mean? So we didn't do many weekends and stuff, a few here and there, but local, And I said to myself, I got to get better, and if I want to do this, I'm going to get better, and I did, and Doc Leach, who we talked about, was very instrumental in that with me, because I said, here's what I want to do, and I need to hit like all the time, and I did my homework a little bit to how to work in batting practice and stuff like that, and little by little I started playing in Cumberland, then I went to a B state champion team, and then I went to Undercover Wear, who won the USSSA Worlds in '91. I went to them the following year. I played with them, and good teams thereafter. I just kept getting better and better. The only thing we were talking about working out, and the only thing I do regret is that I didn't stay, like 210, 215. I wanted to hit it longer, So I started lifting differently, training differently, and get up to like 260. And I couldn't play the outfield anymore.
Right. It worked for the power part of the game.
But my overall game, no. Yeah. If I have a regret, that's probably the regret that I didn't stay that 210, 220 strong, athletic, could still run. Yeah. I got too big, and that's one of the regrets I have. Yeah. But no, I've had a good run. Honestly, turning 50 years old is really the best thing that's happened to me. I mean, I've actually had a lot more success in senior softball than I have as a younger guy, and I think, I probably work harder the most, so I've been able to. I've been injury-free until the last couple of years.
So,
go ahead.
Well, there's a question that pops in my mind that, well, let me just ask it.
Yeah.
Fiddle around the bush. But you said, well, I wasn't that good when I was young, and I really turned it on when I got to be a senior. I came into my own. So which is the best? I mean, what do you? I heard myself going away.
No, I mean, I think if this is a question you're asking me, listen, I worked hard when I was younger. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't have the success as I do today. It's not because of lack of, of trying, like I still hit all the time. I think to your point, to my point, the question, I limited myself because I was a catcher and I couldn't play any other positions. And, now when you're a catcher, you're competing against the best guys that are.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, so it wasn't that I didn't, listen, I worked just as hard as I did.
But what I'm going to say, not really about you, but in the context of, those guys, Bruce Meade, Mike Masenko.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the guys that we look back and they were studs when we were young.
Yeah. Okay. And they were. I was a young kid started playing.
So now you're 57, 62.
62. I wish.
The other guy was 57.
Yeah.
Fuzzy mind.
Yeah.
But you're one of the, you got your own bat.
I do. Yeah.
You're Miken Pro.
I am.
So you're at the top of your game, and that makes you in your decade, if you will, or your I don't know how you.
This generation you're talking about.
Generation, yeah. But in softball, there's the generation. Well, he was a young guy back then. Yeah, I guess the generation. I mean, you're one of the best. I mean, you're in a couple of Hall of Fames now. Or?
Yeah, I am. I'm in the New England and the Rhode Island.
Why didn't we have it in here, Dan?
You didn't. You said that I was on the board. So I'm the president of the. I'm actually chairman of the Rhode Island one, and I'm on the board of the New England.
So that's what they. Yeah.
And then, but I'm in the Rhode Island and the New England Hall of Fame.
That was supposed to be the part where Dan comes in and says, I didn't make that thing up, you did.
Right. He didn't throw you under the bus.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's what he's like too good.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
And usually I'm a bad guy. But getting back to that, which is the better one to be? To be great when you're old, or to be great when you're young?
I don't think it's either or. I think it's just great. Just one of the things in senior softball is just look at yourself. You're still playing. So isn't that great? You know,
Yeah.
did you ever think that you would be playing at 70 years old, ever how old you are?
70. I'm 79.
79.
Don't ever forget.
Yeah, 79. Listen, at 62, I never thought I'd be able to, you know, I didn't think I'd still be playing. So it's great being really good when you're young. And listen, I think it's harder to be good when you're older because it's probably harder work. You know, you don't recover as much, you're tired and like all that. Like, I think it's harder to be good when you're old. I do. You know, maybe I think that way because I'm really good now, you know, and I wasn't great when I was a kid. Now I'm pretty good now.
You know what? The way I look at it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, I had this all the time.
Yeah.
Because guys like Bruce Meade, he was my idol, dude.
Yeah.
I remember running into him when I was a young man in Miami at a
Yeah.
he spent an hour talking to me. I was Johnny Nobody.
Yeah.
Fast forward to senior ball, we were playing together. We were teammates. I was backing him up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually beat him in a home run exhibition in Maui. But all that said, so I think about that a lot. That I become a better player when I was a senior. But then I sit back and I realize, what's the ultimate goal in life? Is to live long and do your things as well as you can for as long as you can.
Yeah.
So I say the person that stays into softball, like we got guys that are 94 years old. Mm-hmm. The guy's still playing and still doing it and still moving. So I'm with you in the context of in your generation. That's the only way you can evaluate yourself to the rest.
It's tough too, like being on the boards of these, especially the Rhode Island Hall of Fame, when you evaluate these people and their applications. You know, some of the old guys that are on the board, they don't want to include the senior. And I'm saying, listen, you can't put somebody in just for senior softball, but you can use it as part of their, you know, their application, as their resume, you know, per se. Because I give it. A lot of the guys, because they didn't play senior, because they couldn't, because they didn't stay in shape or injury, or whatever the case may be, don't believe in senior softball. You know, I'm 62 years old. I still hit the ball 400 feet. I still hit it as far as anybody. You know, maybe not the 40-year-old guys who the major guys, but, you know, I hit with young guys. And obviously I'm using a senior bat and they're not, but I see what they have and what I still have. Like, I can't play at that level anymore, but you know, I still can hang with them, you know, and so my point being is that why wouldn't you use that as part of your resume? You know, you're still playing. And especially if you're playing major plus, you're still playing at a high level, and I feel that, you know, it's harder to play after 50 than it is before 50.
Anybody who discounts senior softball should play infield.
Yeah, they should. Right, absolutely. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
And then tell me how much it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we worked out a little bit yesterday, and Dill's whacking at you in the outfield. Like,
those balls are cooking.
And they're cooking, buddy. And Dill's 58 years old, you know. So I'm a big advocate of the senior softball, maybe because I've had great success in the senior softball. But I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have it. Like, I love it. In order to be, I think, good in senior softball but you got to embrace it. You know, you got to make it. I don't want to say part of your life, like you drop everything. I'm not going to say it like that, but make time for it. Embrace it, enjoy it, have fun. You know, senior softball. One of the good things is like I tell people this all the time. I meet people now that I wish I met 30 years ago. Yeah. You know, that I've met, and I wish that I met them a long time ago. And I've been friends all this time. Like sometimes I'm bummed out. I'm like, geez, I wish I met that guy 30 years ago, you know, and I think that's the great thing about softball, you know, senior softball. Me, I run a different type of team. You know, it's win and then fun is after, because winning is fun to us. Yeah. You know, not everybody can play for my team because we're a little bit different. But senior softball on the whole isn't supposed to be like for the team that I run. It's supposed to be fun and camaraderie and all that stuff. So I think it's a wonderful thing. It keeps you young. Even for a guy like me, I'm in the gym every day. And the reason why is because I play senior softball. That's why I'm there. So it brings a lot of positive, buddy, like the senior, especially, you sit on the couch and you get old really quick. You keep moving. Like I'm in that gym every day, buddy. 62. At 62, do I feel as good as I did when I was 32? No. Am I strong as I was 32? No, but I get after it just as hard for a 62-year-old guy, and that's fun for me. It's definitely a challenge to stay in shape, to still hit it far and still hit it hard, and still run to first base and make it. You know what I mean? So it's been a good run, buddy. I've had a good run, and
look, dude, look. If you just played as long as I have, you got 17 more years.
And listen, buddy. God willing, God willing, I hope I do. I hope I'm lucky like you.
I'm sure you will. You got
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. Well, luck. I was gonna say, oh, it's more than luck, but it ain't.
No, it's.
You gotta be a little lucky in the grace of God.
Yeah, I think there's a little luck in it. I do. Because we know when we get to, injuries can end it really, at our age real quick. So, I work out now a lot differently. So when I go to the gym, my theory is now you work out so I can come back tomorrow.
That's great.
That's what, instead of deadlifting 400, you're like, go to 225 and then I'll see you tomorrow. Because you get hurt and you're not coming back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And to recover at our age from injury can be hard. And it's just like softball. You just want to come back and play the next weekend, and at our age,
I kind of have, I'm obviously older than Dano by a lot. I try to be his mentor anyway, but it's hard to tell.
You're doing a good job, buddy.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of personal good skills.
No.
But listen, I think he spends a lot of time in the weight room, and I could be envious looking at that guy.
Look, he's tan. He's got veins running. Look at him. Oh wow.
He's out there.
I'm kind of jealous a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But so when I look at him, I said, Dan, you don't need to be lifting on heavy weights, dude. I'm gonna tell you, and you can add to it now. It may be different for you because you've got a whole team of monsters.
Yeah.
Okay. But a lot of those monsters won't be playing when they're 70.
I don't know. Like the athlete that I go after is, to your point is, like I like a kid like him. I want to, I want to, so my team's a 55 team. So I want to get that 54, turning 55 athletic guy. And I think I was telling you, I get phone calls all day from different players around the country. Hey, I'd really like to play. The first question I ask, what position do you play? If they say catcher or first base, I said, I got plenty of them thinking, thanks for the call. Because I want a guy that can run around. I want like a guy that's catching that if I get in trouble, I can put him in right field. Mm-hmm. I want athletes. And if you look at our team, our 55 team, we don't have any gorillas per se. Like Dilla's a little bit of a gorilla, but if I have to put Dill in right field, he can play right field. So every guy on my team can play a position. Like I always tell you, if I wasn't running the team, I wouldn't be on the team because I don't fit the mold of what I recruit. What I recruit are guys that are athletes that if I have to put him somewhere, he can at least go out there and not all make a fool. Yeah, I mean, I don't want gorillas. I don't want big names and I don't want non-athletes. I want guys that can run. I do, and I think that's what makes my team.
Now, has that always been your philosophy?
No, good question. Probably not, because I was a gorilla. Right. So I wanted all goons. I want guys that just banged around the park. But like I said to you a minute ago, if I wasn't running this team, I wouldn't go after me because I can't do anything else but catch or DH, right? But when I look at guys.
One-tool players.
No, one-tool player I don't even look at. I don't care how good of a hitter he is. I don't care. Because I got two guys that are really good. They both hit in the high 7s, 800. How much better am I going to get? Mm. And both those guys in a pinch, can get out there and go play a position. So I think in senior softball, get your athletes, because athletes is how you win.
Well, the main point I left out in the discussion, and my microphone seems like it's...
It hasn't changed. You bring it closer. It's still working. Yep.
Yeah, in my ear.
I'll turn it up.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. That's way too loud. Oh, my God. I hope you didn't hurt anybody's ears out there. But what I was telling him is, you remember, the guy we had out there yesterday had this physique that I I wouldn't mind walking around the beach with.
Right. Yep.
I don't walk around in the softball field like that, but
Yeah.
you know, I told him not to get like that.
No.
He needs to stay like he is.
No, he's perfect. You know, for softball, you get too big. And listen, sometimes when we look in the mirror, we don't see what we really are. You know, I don't know if you have that. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
But you know, what do you weigh? 220, 215 in that area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect weight as a senior guy. You don't need to be any bigger, any stronger. You got all.
This is yours. Sorry.
You got everything you need. You don't need to be. You got the power as it is at your weight. So what are you going to do? You're going to go up to 240 and become a first baseman, and you know, instead of hitting at 350, you're going to hit at 375. What good is that? You only got to hit at 300 anyways. So like, stay the way you are. Like you're you're the type of guy you're the type of athlete that I look for. I don't look, you know, like we've talked about. I don't look for the catches.
Can you do me one favor?
Sure.
Stop telling me how damn perfect he is.
Hey, he's your guy. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying.
It's your fault, man.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to that.
Well, he's sitting in front of me. I actually, you know, he came and he, you know, let me take a look at him. You know, so I can't say he sucks.
No, I would never.
What would I say? He's an ugly guy and he's out of shape.
No, I'm just joking. I tell him that myself.
Yeah. Except he's a Canadian. That's, you know. That's a negative.
It was a good hockey game.
It was. I was crying. I was crying in bed.
Oh,
Dan needs to turn this over to me. He's forgot about
all right.
He's gone crazy on this.
That's
time.
all right.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
You're kidding me.
No, man.
Oh man, you wasted all this stuff. We gotta.
It's all right. We're covering subjects down the line already.
Yeah, we're jumping all
It's
around.
okay.
We're good, buddy.
It's a good flow. It's a good flow today.
conversation. Let me see what focus do we want to do. I think Joe Rogan was just look at his notes once in a while too. But softball is pretty much your life.
Sure.
What you talked about? What I like, you talked about the fact that it was like a social club, because you know, in the seniors, which I've been in now, well, for 28 years.
Yeah.
From the 50s, and as we grew as seniors through the different 5-year increments, guys are more about that camaraderie. Because at our level, the super major level, a lot of guys don't want to play at that level. And some guys, they want to win, they want to have it all, they want to get their ring, but they want to do it at the level they can do it at. They don't want to beat the best.
No, I agree.
We're special. You know, the super major guys want to. That's why they play, to beat the best.
Absolutely. But I understand, like I tell people all the time, softball means a little bit different for everybody, you know? So that guy that wants to come play with his buddies at AAA or whatever and have fun and go out to dinner and have a couple of beers, that's what softball's all about, really. You know, I got guys that call me and I said, listen, this might not be for you. This is a win-at-all-cost team. You know, funning for us is winning. It's not going to have dinner. It's not hanging out, this and that. So what I'm trying to say is it is different for everybody. So I might have to look at a good player and talk to him, and he might say, hey, that's not for me. And that's fine, too. Like, I get it. You know, not everybody can be what I want or what the guys on our team want, but that's what I like, you know. You know, there's other things that, you know, I tell like my friends on the team, I said, listen, I love you guys to death, I do. But I'm not going to come down to like Vieira, Florida, hang out and go and have dinner with you and go fucking 0-2. Like, I'll stay home and do that. Like, we can go meet in the north end of Boston, go have an Italian meal, for God's sakes, and have fun. Why do I want to come down here to, you know, and go 0-1-2? So I tell people that want to play, I said, listen, you know, it's an authoritarian rule. Like, I'm the say, and this is the way it goes. My language is atrocious, and as you get to...
Well, you don't cuss on the field, do you?
Oh, buddy, the F...
Oh,
hey, I gave us...
Man, I will not allow you to play with that.
What they do sometimes is, you know, when I talk to the team, before, after every game. They'll count how many F-bombs I dropped to see, you know, so... But I think softball is different for everybody, and whatever that is great. As long as you're keeping active, you're still enjoying the game, you're doing that. It's not so much about the major plus. It's about the AAA guy who just wants to get out and get some exercise and have fun and be with his friends. It's awesome, you know?
Well, I like to say too, and I know where you're coming from because, you know, most of the players are at the lower level. And I don't, you know, like I tell the guys that, you know, show me their rings from ISA-D or
Right.
Triple E
Right.
or whatever. But that's all right because you only can play in where you're playing. And if you're playing in that, you are the champion of that, whatever it is they call.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right. It's just the same to your point.
Yeah.
But I never have. You can't have fun unless you win, in my opinion.
Well, the first word it always is win. Then it's fun. Yeah. You know, like that's how you're going to look at it. That, you know, the first word out of your mouth should be win. Yeah. You know, for our team, and like I said, that's not for everybody, but you know, that's what we expect, and that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that happens. So.
And everybody else is trying to marginalize those big teams that win all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a couple guys say to me, you know, teams that we play against, get ready, we're coming. You know, we're done losing to you, and that's awesome. You know, like
that's what you want to be.
Yeah, bring them all. Let's go. You know, I'll fist fight you. Let's go. You know, and that's what it's about, and that's what makes it fun.
Did your style change managing?
I don't style as far as what like
the emphasis on the winning. I mean, it sounds like you were a competitive guy the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm a win at all cost guy. Yeah. You know, I'm tough to play with, play for, buddy. Like, I'm a good teammate as far as that goes, but as a coach, I'm real rough. You know, like because my expectations are high. Yeah. And some guys don't understand that. Like, if I'm not yelling and screaming at you when you screw up, then I don't have high expectations from you. Right. If I'm saying you did this wrong, what are you doing, and you know, get on their ass, that means because I have high expectations for them, yeah. And that's how I coach. I only take guys that I feel are really good, and so if I get in their ass, it's because I expect more out of them, you know, and you know, that's how I coach. You know, and listen, I have friends on the team. It's not like, you know, everybody hates me and yeah. I'm like some of these other, but. You know, even some of my friends, you know, they screw up. I get in their ass and I tell them, you know. And
well, in every state, there's got to be a Kirby Murphy.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if you want that.
Explain what I mean is that you need a sponsor first of all, and then you need somebody that is the organizer. And I say a Kirby Murphy. Yeah. At your level, there's not too many guys that do super major stuff. You know, there's all kinds of little Kirby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
around running their teams.
I've been lucky, you know, for the last 6-7 years. So I have a great sponsor in Brian Patton, who's a insurance guy out of Pennsylvania, and you know he's listen. There's not enough words. There's not enough anything what I can say about how good he's been to us, and he runs it like a business. You know, he said, "Hey, listen. This is the way it is. You either win or I pull the plug." So sometimes, like when I talk to the guys, they look at me like, I go, "Guys, I know what Brian wants, and Brian wants to win at all costs. He's spending this money because he's a successful businessman, and he doesn't lose at anything, and he sure as fuck doesn't want to spend his money and lose. So I am going to do whatever it takes to win." And because to your point, there's not a lot of good sponsors running around in senior softball, and
they get smaller.
Yeah, they do, and you know, for a lot of different reasons. But you know, I've been really lucky with him. Not only is he a great guy, he's a great sponsor.
How long have you two been connected?
So this would be like our 7th year together. You know, he lets me do as I want as far as like, you know, if I need to bounce something off somebody, you know, that is kind of away from it, you know, I call him up and I say, "Hey, what are you thinking?" You know, and he's not emotionally involved like I am. You know, I'm right in the trenches, and so it's good to get that outside. And he's very good at that kind of stuff. You know, so you know.
Does he play?
No, he did, but he's too busy. You know, he's too busy. He shows up a couple times a year.
Do you know? Is it Mark Thomas?
Yeah.
the lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played for him. I played with Mark.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we won the in Vegas. We won the USSSA in major in Vegas when I was 54. I think.
Yeah, we're tied in with Mark real well. He was on the podcast not too long ago.
Was he?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing well.
Is he?
He's got some. He was talking to me the other day. I was doing a home run.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to
Little
call it.
challenge. Home run challenge.
Home run challenge. And I still got 6 dozen balls out there for it.
Yeah.
Now he's going to do the. Remember
The long haul bombers.
long haul bombers?
Yeah.
He's bought that.
The rights to it.
The rights to it or something, and he's going to kick it back off. He started telling me what he's doing, and it sounded pretty fantastic. Actually.
Yeah. I remember when they had that.
He talks a mile a minute.
He's a good guy.
Great
Yeah. He's from up in my area.
I know, that's why I said.
Yeah, we played together when we were younger, and then in the senior softball we were together like 2 or 3 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys were,
Yeah, we were together for 3 years.
Were you involved in that fence broker thing too?
No, I never played with Dylan. I hated them. So did Mark. Yeah, we hated them. Yeah, not good.
Okay, we won't get into that. We don't do hater.
No, it's all. Listen, all the guys like Bob O'Brien played, Dill played for them, Jason Kennedy, they were great guys, but they used to kick the piss out of us, so it wasn't fun.
Oh, that's why you hate it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Chris Walker, who's the sponsor, is a great guy. They're all good dudes. I just, they used to kick the shit out of us, so I didn't care for it much,
That's why I made it so much around here. Yeah, I understand. I relate to that. What's the biggest lesson that you could take from the game that you could share with others, or that you have taken from the game? Share with, if you have one.
One of the things that we've talked a lot about is it just keeps you young. It makes you think young. It keeps you in shape. Gives you a reason. All that. If that's and we've been talking about that, but I think ultimately it's that simple. Look at you. You're 78, right?
Yeah.
And you're still moving. And look at him at 55 or whatever. You know what I mean? Look at me at 62. And it's all because of softball. Yeah. We can sit here and lie to ourselves and say, "Oh, we would be doing it." No, we wouldn't. Yeah. I'm not saying we'd be out of shape, but we wouldn't be working at it as hard. So, the lesson out of it, whether it's pickleball, softball, tennis, whatever it is, forget golf. You don't do shit. Play something that's going to make you, stay in shape. Stay in shape. Stay focused. Stay.
Well, what you just said there fits a lot with what we do with a category we have on our YouTube channel, play longer and play stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of, and I'll give you an example personally, I had 20% of my lung taken out in December of last year, or January, one or the other. No, it was December. So 20 days after the operation, I was back out on the field hitting softballs. Okay, and what I say to you is, I would have never would have done that if I wasn't playing softball at the level I'm playing.
Right.
I'm trying to stay to the level so I can stay on the best team in the country.
Right.
Okay, and with that, and it's kind of I don't want to use the word superfluous but it's in the concept of living in the world, softball means nothing.
No.
No. But to me, in my mindset, if I don't have that to go back to try to achieve, I have no drive.
Right. Don't we all have goals? Whether it's business or softball or stay in shape, whatever. You gotta have something to focus on. You gotta have a goal. Mine is, stay under 240, stay in shape, stuff like that. You got to have something. I had my shoulder done in December, so my goal is to get back on the field in June. That's what my goal is. So every time I get tortured by my guy in my rehab, I say to myself, don't worry about it. In June, you're going to be swinging the stick. So we all have goals focus, and you got to focus on that in order to keep moving. Listen, buddy, I don't want to die at 62 a fat slop. Like, you know,
Well, you certainly were far away from back.
no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
because it takes years off your life. Like, I want to be moving around. I want to, you know, walk on, you know, at Disney or whatever, or get on the beach and not feel uncomfortable. I just.
Have you ever heard this quote? A man without a dream is like a car without gasoline.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what
good
we're
one.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, it's having that dream,
Yeah.
having that,
Yeah.
and it's something to work for. You know, Dan probably, I don't know, I can't speak for Dan, but you coming down here to America certainly hinged a lot on softball.
You're damn right it did.
Yeah.
Guys moving down here to try to play higher level
Yeah.
ball.
Listen, buddy, if I was to I take care of my mom now. She's 88. If I didn't have her, I'd be your neighbor. And I'd be out there hitting every day. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
You know, I do. I love it down here.
Well, God, I hope you grant your mother lives to 105, but I won't be around if you move down.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So look, Dan, we butchered this schedule pretty big time. Let me see if I got one more big question for him. If you could get, well, I think you've done this a couple times. I had the question if you could give, if you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would it be? I think you've done that a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the weightlifting thing is obviously up there. I probably would have took a chance and left my comfort zone as far as some of the teams I played, and you know, but other than that, probably staying lighter, you know, staying more athletic is probably, if I had to do it all over again, you know. One of the things I did that was good for me is that I didn't have to play with my friends and travel with my friends. I was, you know, I'm a loner at heart, so I don't mind getting out playing by myself. I actually like it because I can do it whatever I want. So, you know, people even say that to me, Kurt, why do you do it? You're on a flight like every other weekend, and you know, you're by yourself and it's not. And I say to myself, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I can go and I check my bags when I want. I can go have a coffee. I can do my thing. I don't need somebody to, you know. I love traveling. Like, you know, obviously I came down here by myself, and you know, I'm not uncomfortable with it, and I like myself, so I can, you know, so I can do it. But I think.
I'm glad you like yourself. That's a.
Yeah. Well, you know, I never, like I say, kidding around to people is, I've never seen a mirror I didn't like. You know what I mean?
He is a pretty good, handsome looking guy.
Yeah, jeez.
I mean, we don't plan to date him, but you know.
Right.
You go on the we'll probably make. Oh, we only got a short time.
Yeah,
we better move to the next category, my friend. And what do you think?
Yeah. So I mean, you talked a lot about teams and, and coaching.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, makes it? What's a good teammate? What's the definition of a good teammate?
Hit 800, keep your mouth shut, and help me win. That's a good teammate. And don't give me any shit. You know, I think, you know, you'll have guys give the cliches or whatever. You know, like, oh, if you did this, that makes a good teammate and all that. But honestly, be on time, wear the uniform, and you know, give 100%. It's basic, you know. And that's my theory. Like when I talk to guys, here's my 3 rules: be on time, wear the complete uniform, and just give me 100%. You know, and that's a good teammate. Yeah. All the other stuff is like nonsense. You know, I'll handle all that other stuff. Just give me those 3 things, and we're gonna win. You know, and it's that simple. I think, you know, and one of the questions I thought you were gonna ask me too was about what was it?
Team chemistry?
Chemistry.
That's the next one.
Yeah. So we'll go right into that.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what the best thing for team chemistry is? Winning.
Yeah.
Like, winning makes everything go away.
Yeah.
You know, and if you win.
Stop here to add this into what
Yeah.
you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I always found in my career, you don't know how good a team you have until you lose. You didn't
Absolutely.
lose that much. When you lose and your team stays together and says, that's when you know you got a team.
Yeah. Like, one of my mottos too in 55 is, like, a lot of these guys, they focus on the home runs, bad home runs. At 55, my theory is get ahead. Like, punch somebody right in the face and then see if they come back. Because, like you said, to your point, everybody's good when you're winning or you're winning, you're winning the game or you're winning turn. What happens when you slap somebody in the face and you're up 10 in the fourth inning or whatever? You're running a little over the home runs, but you're still up 10. Come see if they can come get you.
Yeah.
Buddy, I'm betting they're not going to come get you, and
It's all about ebb and flow.
Yes, yeah.
But when and again, I've been on so many damn teams. The good ones though are the ones that they don't even think about giving up.
No, because even when you're down, if you have a good team, even if you're down, they don't like panic. They don't like yell at their teammates. They don't do that. They just stay about it, the business. We're gonna come. And for my team, we usually do. We're coming, and good. You strap up, buddy, because we're coming hard at you. But I really believe, being a good teammate. It's simple. It is, and if I really feel that, and this has happened a couple of times in the last 4 years, if the guy is a distraction, a bad teammate is a guy that goes behind people's backs and tries to, once you see, even in senior softball, you saw it more as younger, but you still see it now.
Some cancer.
Yeah, you do. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks for everything, and going in a different direction, and that's probably the hardest thing I do, coaching, is getting rid of guys. Yeah. It's hard. Like, over the last few years, I'm replacing 58 and 59-year-olds with 54. You got to stay young. But, there's a few guys who've been close friends on my team that I had that tough talk with on Monday. Hey, listen, you ready for the tough talk? And some of them take it well. Some of them are pros, and then there's others there's guys I haven't talked to in a few years that I was friendly with. So that might be the hardest thing to do, but
I think they'll get over it as the years go on.
Yeah.
They'll appreciate the time.
I think you listen. I hope you're right. Because that's how I think about it.
They're emotionally mature. That may sound technical, but emotional maturity. You realize. In fact, the way I looked at it, I worked at a company. I laid off hundreds and hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And one day my day was going to come, and it did. And I realized.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in softball. Yeah. I've been on the best team forever.
Yeah.
And now I'm one trick pony.
Yeah. The another thing here too to that point is loyalty is one of the most overrated words in softball, because if you're a sponsor and a guy who goes to another team, you have no loyalty to the sponsor. But if you're struggling and the sponsor gets rid of you, you got no loyalty. So I laugh at these guys, say, oh, loyalty, you have no loyalty. Yeah, but if I wasn't hitting 800, you get rid of me anyway. So you always got to do another thing is you got to do what's best for yourself. When guys leave me, I don't get mad because I play both sides of the fence. Mm-hmm. I go, if you're getting a better deal, then or a better team, then go ahead. Mm-hmm. I wish you nothing but the best. Like, I shake their hand. Thanks for the last couple of years. And, I just had that, this year, and, gave him a big hug, and thanks for we won a lot together. Good luck to you. And he felt that he had a better opportunity, or he had to do it. I have no hard feelings, none at all. Do what's best for yourself.
I think their words used because I believe totally in loyalty, but when I explain it to you, maybe you'll agree with me also. Mm-hmm. I think you probably will. If I remember what the hell I was going to say now. This bugs the shit out of me. Whatever you say and commit as a softball player, you need to follow through on it.
100%. Yeah. That's one thing is, if you're going to shake my hand and say, hey, I'm going to be with you for the year, and then halfway through you say, hey,
Kirby, guy gives another $100.
Yeah, and then go.
I got to go over there.
Right. But they could say to me, well, that's all great, but what if I'm not hitting? You're going to stay with me? So there's with that loyalty thing. Mm. No, I'm not actually. Like, I'm going to not throw you off the team. I'm going to put you on the bench, and you're going to fight your way back. So yes, I agree with you, but I play both.
I see that point.
Yeah. Like, I play both sides of the fence. Like, I've been a player that's wanted to come on a team in the middle. I've also been a player, like, later when I got a little bit older, that was getting cut because they brought a younger kid in who was a little bit better. So I understand both sides. I try to not get emotional in it. As emotional, what I mean is, no decision I make is emotional. It's all business.
What you do in your business life?
I was in the car business for 30 years.
That's right. You told me.
Yeah, I was a buyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I take care of my 88-year-old mother.
Yeah. So there's no.
Listen, she's pretty good to talk to.
I
Like
can
about
see
this softball. I say, hey, what do you think of this, Bob? You know?
But the car business is like it's cutthroat.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. You're not dealing with it. Like softball, you don't deal with the nicest guys in the world either. They're like,
And loyalty is not.
loyalty is not a word used in the car business.
I was with one of these guys, preacher like.
Yeah.
But he was one of the guys who went around and did the tent.
Yeah.
preaching,
Yeah.
okay? And he was like a con guy a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was used car sales.
Of course he was.
Yeah. After because his wife got on him because he was running around out on his. I said, how does a guy go from a preacher to a used car salesman? Or he was.
Because it's the same.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it's the same.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And look, that guy went into that job. You ever heard of
And he was probably good at both.
Well, he was.
Yeah, yeah,
he
of
was
course.
He was a good basketball player too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. But look, he's the head. I think it was nationwide. You know the big not rental, but used car place. That
Yeah.
They advertised.
Yeah.
It was not nationwide.
It was a dealership out of Miami, Nations Auto.
Whatever it is now, it's used now
Yeah.
across country.
Yeah.
He's the head guy making
Millions.
buku money.
Yeah, he's making $1 million.
Yeah, buku. They've been there for like 10 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
What else you got for me?
Well, I got Dan. How much time we got, bud?
We are at the 56-minute mark.
Oh, we got 4 minutes. Come on.
We'll go a little bit more, but look, I got 4 questions here.
Okay.
What? Man, you might have answered this one. You know, what was the key to your longevity and success in softball?
Yeah. We went over that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think.
Didn't we, Dan? We went over that, didn't we?
Yeah.
How about talk a little more about your connection with Miken Sports when you got it? And
Oh,
get
yeah,
Miken
actually,
Talk about the bat deal too.
yeah, I will. I start when I was playing. Where the hell was I playing? I was playing with. I went and watched the Major World Series. A friend of mine was playing in the Men's World Series, like the young kids, and he was playing for Jason Kendrick, and so I ended up going out to dinner. I met Kendrick. You know, I had met him before, but as far as sitting down and talk to him at dinner, and we talked for a long time, and then like a month later, I ended up playing with him in the Villages, and he was a promotions manager for Mike and Worth then, and he said, "Hey, you know, I'm gonna give you a call this week. We need to talk or whatever." And he called me and said, "Hey, I want to sign you, you know, with a bat deal, you know." So that was, I think I was 51 at the time. So I signed with them, and then so I signed for 3 years or whatever.
So a lot of people ask about this. So
Yep.
what does that mean? What's it entail?
Well, I get all my equipment. You know what I mean?
Are there restrictions of things you can't do?
Can't use any other bat.
Can't use any other batting gloves. You know, they want you to, you know, wear the hat when you can and your
They will
t-shirt.
return on their investment.
You know, and you know, I've been pretty lucky. You know, I get what I want. You know, I never go without. But you know, so and then COVID hit, and it was good until then. And then, you know, we weren't playing much. And then Kendrick left. He went to sell balls. They brought another guy in, and it's kind of a headache. But he signed me for a couple of years. And then when Easton bought them, then Brett Helmer came in, and he signed me again. And I've known him for, you know, he's up from my area, so he took care of me. And then now Mike Dill just got the job. He's the promotions manager for the 3 bat companies now. So him and Kendrick just signed me for 3 more years. So and how the bat went down. So they had been talking about. I was on a Miken bat with 6 other guys called the Mag 7. So in the last couple of years, they've been saying, "Oh, Kirby, we got to get you on a bat. We got to get a bat," you know, and you know, and I know, like, you know, for guys like for anybody who plays softball, doesn't matter how good you are, your name's on the bats. You don't get much cooler than that.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty,
don't let anybody fool you because that's as cool as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, in softball, whether you're a young kid, old guy, or whatever. And when you get a Miken, which is probably the most iconic bat, and you got your own, if there's anything better, please let me know because I don't know what it is.
Well, it's recognition.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I mean, so many things.
You see other people swinging with your name on, it's kind of cool. But so what ended up happening was they were coming out with this Hall of Fame series, and I get a text from Helmer. I didn't even realize it, and he says, "Hey, you want any Hall of Fames?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm this and that." He said, "Okay," and that was the end of the conversation. I didn't think anything of it. And then like a week later, he calls me and he said, "Hey, you got a minute?" And I go, "Yeah, what's up?" And he said, "Your name's going on to Miken in the Hall of Fame. It's going to be a 12 and a half, and this and that, and that's pretty much a story,
cool,
you know."
I
So
got to see that back because Mikey don't have a lot of 12 and a half inch.
no, it's a half ounce and low. It's a one piece, you know. So, and it was you know, I'm not just saying this because it was my bat, but it's pretty good, you know.
Well, it's all sold out, dude.
You can't get it.
You can't get it. It means something.
I think you can get. They have like 26s, I think, on Amazon. I think they have. There's a couple left. But
Did you have any say in?
you have
any of
no
that?
say. Don't let anybody fool you. You have no say. They call you and say, "This is what you got. You better work hard and
Get used to that
get
bat.
used to that bat." You know, I always use a long barrel. You know, in senior, like when I was a kid, I used a 12, and then when I to senior, because Kendrick's bat was the one that I swung. He was a 14-inch barrel. That's what I liked. And
Yeah,
then
14-inch barrel.
yeah, it had a 14. It was a Miken. It was a blue one, so it was probably 10, 11 years ago. And then I said, "Oh, what is it?" He says, "Oh, it's 12 and a half with a half ounce and one piece." And I got one in the mail like a couple days later. I took it out.
When's your new 2025 drop?
I don't know. They haven't. Mike's hush on that one with me, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get on today about it and try to slap him around and. But he's good. He's good for the company. He's a hard worker. He's done a lot. He's doing a lot positive for the three brands.
good.
Yeah, if you get a date when it's going to drop, and if it's you give it to me within a day, I'll be able to.
Yeah, I will.
good review
Yeah,
on
I will.
that, yeah.
It's
Because I'll put it on here. And like I told Mikey, he was giving me the business yesterday that when he came to the club, we didn't have a lot of Miken product. Well, we bought 30 bats of the combat.
Yeah.
It's in the same business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we have a lot of guys using the Johnny Bailey and
Yeah.
stuff. We
Those are coming out. The new ones are coming in March. The new Bailey, the new Misenko, and the new Dill.
I
That's
interviewed him up there yesterday.
who's that?
Johnny Bailey.
He's a really good dude. That's as professionally good dude as it gets.
And according to Bob O'Brien, the toughest guy to pitch to.
That doesn't surprise me.
He says his hands are. That's what he said. His hands.
But
are
he works
incredible.
hard at it. Nobody works hard on that guy, and you know I believe that. You know he doesn't make many outs.
Yeah.
But O'Brien don't make many outs either. If we're talking about hitting, he's pretty fucking good too.
Well, from Brian, I was telling him yesterday, a guy named Don Clatterball is considered in my generation.
Yeah.
One of the most consistent hitter. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Him and Dave Reed at one time were neck and neck in home
Yeah.
runs, and I think Dave, you know Dave.
I know who he is. Yeah.
Dave was a good 6-7 years in the '60s. He was number one home run hitter.
Yeah.
Don's been a great hitter since he was a kid. You know, we talked about it. He's the one guy I know that has come through all the age groups.
Right.
That was a star from the get-go to the end. And he's still a star.
Right.
He don't hit it out anymore.
Right.
He's my age. Me and him are the same age. We were on the same team. We were on the first 50 team I was ever on. Him and I were together. We dominated. Only lost one tournament all year. Last
18 years ago.
18. No, it's 28, right?
I don't know. How old are you?
50. I was 50 when we did
68,
it.
78.
That's 28 years.
Yeah. My math is good for a public school guy.
That's all right, man. You had the personality. You were probably a homecoming king or something.
No, I wasn't that pretty back
Did
then.
you ever play football? We never did ask that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What
in
position?
high school, I
What
was a
position did-
defensive end, tight
defensive
end.
end.
Yeah, it was okay. I was a hockey player. That
I
was
heard
my-
them refer to you as a tight ass, but I never heard it.
Who said that?
Mike Dill. No, nobody said it.
I'm sure he said worse.
I didn't know. Every time Mike Dill talked about you, I thought you were some guy, legend. I knew you were the coach, but I didn't realize you had so many, good
What's like
accolades in softball.
What's the thing is as I look back in my career, whatever, is I'm more satisfied with my coaching in senior softball than I am actually playing. And I've won a lot playing too, but it just feels better when you win. I've had my shoulders messed up for the last. It'll be good this year, but been playing part time like last year, and just sitting back and coaching and being successful at that it actually gives me more satisfaction than winning as a player. Because you've.
You and I have a very similar bio through softball, and as far as your feeling on that area, one reason I don't coach a lot anymore, because when I coach and lose,
it's worse.
I can't, because I'm responsible.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, I haven't lost much when I coach, but I don't coach much anymore.
Listen, I understand, and I agree with you. You're almost like an individual sport guy as a coach because it's all on your shoulders. Or you take it all, like, me, I feel if we lose, it's my fault. I didn't press a button right here, I didn't do this here, that. So yeah, if we lose, listen, we lose on a Saturday, I'm like, I don't sleep Saturday night. I'm in my room and I'm like out of my mind. Like, where did I go wrong? Why didn't I say this to this guy? Why didn't I do this?
Yeah, you can get over a game you played in a lot quicker.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, let me move on because we are running out of time. I want to get into this one thing that has nothing to do with anything that we do, or maybe it does, and I don't know, but it's something I didn't know about. And when they said you were a Team Yolked Ambassador, I thought that was like a country over in Europe, but I had to look it up.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell people what it is, rather than me, just reading it.
You can say whatever you want. Go ahead, read away, and then I'll tell you.
Well, essentially, the Team Yolked, the yolk is
it's an egg.
It says this structure keeps the conversation engaging.
You screwed up on that.
Yeah. Users endorse yolk. It says, as a Team Yolked Ambassador, what you do is you use and endorse the yolk product to aid in recovery and performance.
Right.
When I saw this, I was saying, man, this is something that I probably should take, and the Dan would probably want to take.
I'll get you a deal too.
Huh?
I'll get you a deal too.
Well, okay.
So it's an egg product, and it helps with your protein intake and stuff like that. It's good for recovery, weight loss, like they all say. But it works good. It's helped me.
How much protein in it?
There's no protein. It helps with the protein getting.
So it's egg whites.
Yes, exactly what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do that. Obviously, I'm in I'm in the process of
you put your
doing
dog,
everything I
put
can.
your dog on it too. It's good. It's good.
Oh, that's what I want you to get.
Yeah,
you
I'll
do
take
the
care
same
of that.
stuff that I eat, the dog eats.
Yeah, it's different, but it's really the same.
Oh, okay.
It's a different packaging.
I need to buy. Okay, I want to buy some
Right.
for me and some for the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know you're going to sell something here. But is there anything? Is there anything you want to explain to people how?
It's
for you and.
Yeah, it's been
enhanced muscle recovery and performance.
How'd you get connected with those guys?
I was actually hitting with a guy 6 or 7 years ago, and he brings this kid in. You mind if I bring so and so into it? And I said, sure. And he worked for IMG, the advertising agency IMG, and he left and he cashed it all in to buy into this company. I didn't know what he did, and he said, hey, listen, I'm partners in this company. Would you like to help me out? And so I got T-shirts, and he sends me.
So what is it like? Multi-level marketing?
No, it's a standalone company. Yeah, it's and the dog thing's the most popular, believe it or not.
Well, I believe it. My son does CBD, and dog CBD is tremendously helpful.
Well, you know what it is? It's like you almost would some of these people take care of their dog more than they'll take care of themselves.
So true.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
Oh, look at me. He's worse than me.
Is he? Yeah.
He couldn't even have dogs, but he
Yeah.
stayed with me for
Yeah.
a month or so when he was moving, and he loved the dogs.
Yeah.
But he was like allergic to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does. It helps. It really helps with my recovery. You know, when I'm using, because what I did.
I'm going on your word, man.
What I did was I got on it for 6 months, right? I take it. It comes in a little pack. It's like little eggs, and it tastes great. It tastes like vanilla, like cake vanilla.
You can put it in a smoothie.
If you want to, I just take it out of the package. But I didn't use it. I used it for 6 months, and then I got off for like 2 months, and then I went back on it because I wanted to see like this stuff really work, and it did. My recovery wasn't as good.
We like to bring good stuff to our audience, and if I'm going to take it, if it does well.
Yeah, I'll get you some.
Yeah, I'm going to do it the thing, and I'll put you out there with your information because they want to contact you to get it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. What I'll do is give me, before we go, I'll get your address. And
One more factual thing, and then we'll let Dan close it with his normal close. I mean, Fortetropin. How do you pronounce Fortetropin? That's the fundamental ingredients in.
Yes. Yeah, that's the eggs.
Yeah, it's so.
You're getting in too depth.
Too much.
Yeah.
Well, I love the way they explain it here, and so I'm going to get it. So we'll leave it
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So Dan, let's go ahead and we're going to wrap this sucker up.
Yeah, you know what? This has been a great podcast.
Yeah,
it's
thanks, buddy.
very informative. It feels, as much as we've covered, it feels like there's so much more.
There is. I could sit here all day talking about stuff.
And I mean, we like to finish by asking very successful people, what are your 3 keys to success for the audience? You're going to give them a roadmap for success. Could be in softball, could be in life.
I mean, I think, it's kind of what my 3 rules are is you got to get out of bed in the morning, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to work hard and, and be passionate. Those are the 3 things that, the top that come to the top of my head. I think get out of bed, get out of bed, just move, stop moving, and be passionate about whatever you choose and work hard. Those are the 3.
The key there is stop, keep moving. Don't ever stop moving. Stop moving, then you're going to lose it, just like everything else.
Yep.
Great show, man.
Thanks,
brother.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.